He's clearly doing something right.
The other thing I've thought about with that statistic of them getting more T-side rounds is they're one of the only teams that picks nuke, so that means they always start T-side.
True.
So it's possible that the reason they have so many T-side rounds is because they're always just winning from the get-go, which is a pretty terrifying thought, because it's not overly surprising that they win the T-side and then just close out the rest of the match. So if they're picking it, most teams will pick CT side, and thus they have to play the T side first. Now, they've not actually played HUAT on this map. The last couple of times they played on Inferno. So I don't really know what to expect from the side of HUAT. And as said, we've only seen them play this a few times. They beat D13, who didn't qualify for this tournament. And then they lost to Beyond and Tiger, getting to double digits, but that was all. So again, like what we've seen from this tournament so far is the teams that are clearly lesser than ViCi, they've been able to destroy. I'm expecting more of the same. If we don't, even if I see like double digits from HUAT, I would say that that's a pretty good result for them. If they somehow manage to win this map, then I think Dinko's prophecy of them not making to the final is going to come true, because that's unacceptable.
Yeah, definitely a game that ViCi should be winning every time, and they've started with 2 sets of nades for this pistol round. Advent and Alman being the boys to buy the nades, whereas for HUAT, a very different approach. No kit, no nades for them, just 5 sets of Kevlar and the hope that they can land some shots. But they've got to hold this A bomb site, and already Kaz is flying into the site with 2 instant kills, and that is certainly setting the pace for this game.
Oh, nice shot from Ronan. I'm not really sure how much else they're going to be able to do. Buying no utility in this sort of pistol is always going to be a risk, especially not having a kit. And oh, Neff, that's a kill he's going to want to forget. I think actually out of all the maps, I think not buying a kit on this one is the one that might irritate me the most, because you're going to have those fast upper hits so regularly. If you lose the site, you want to have a kit to give yourself some extra time. The fact is, it wouldn't have mattered if they did, though, because they lost 3 players within 10 seconds of the round starting.
And now they've got to see if they can do any better with the Deegs. It's 5 Deegs, so the prophecy states they won't win this round, or at least we don't know if they will, because they've not gone for the 4 Deagles, which we were talking about. Straight into the lobby. I don't mind the aggression. Unfortunately, though, the only man to get any kills so far has been Neff. And even though Spiels is sneaking in, there are still 2 players, and they're both going to fight him at the same time. So another fast round for ViCi. And now that HUAT are down to an even worse buy in this one, it should be the clean and easy 3-0 start they were looking for.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if there's any extra money saved up. Neff's actually just going to invest the cash he made into a Deeg. There should be enough for Splash Day to get his AWP going forward, but actually, maybe not. Not with Kevlar, at least. They've invested quite a lot into this round, considering. We'll see if they can do any damage with it. Neff's even bought Kevlar. Well, that was worth it.
Yeah, that's not what you want to be seeing when you invest that much into a round like this. Alman getting a couple of kills, spotting out the early aggression, and I think we might be about to have another quick round. ViCi not wasting any time at the start of this game. Spiels up close, unable to win the fight. Alman getting some easy pickings. And as you pointed out, Neff's money is a little bit worse for wear now. He can still buy a rifle. He just might miss some nades, might miss the kit that he would have otherwise wanted. But the buy about to come through for HUAT. No AWP for them. It's just full rifles ahead of this first gun round.
They don't have a kit.
They don't. I was about to look for that.
Oh, God. I don't understand at this point. There's so many decisions that HUAT are making where I'm just like, how? Like, why would you spend, like, about what? So 650 plus the 700 of the Deagle, 1350 in the last round, and for no reason really, and then not have enough money for a kit in this one, or even the extra nades. It's questionable. And well, Ronan's been wrecked on ramp. Jam Young is going to find another onto Splash K. And they're going to have the lower bomb site. There's already a rotation coming in towards the door, which will be Bulbasaur. They should know he's here. He's made plenty of noise, but never mind. He manages to sneak his way through and actually get a kill and drop the bomb. This will buy some extra time for rotations. He's going to go back through. ViCi slipping up in this round, that's for sure. And Bulbasaur capitalizing off of it. Doking's very low on HP. And Orman... Oh, I thought the nade got him for a second. It didn't. It's left onto Orman. I don't know how we got to this situation. Or 4v2 turned 1v2. They're going to try and face him together. It's sort of. But, well, Bulbasaur will get the trade kill in the end. Great round from Bulbasaur. He made a really risky play, and it paid off this time. And I'm not quite sure what happened for ViCi there. They look like they made some serious mistakes. As I said, like, unless he managed to open the doors at the exact same time the other player opened the doors, which I don't think he did. No, because they're closed. So they heard that and then just decided to ignore it, or just weren't paying attention, I guess.
I guess maybe the other thing could be if the comms were really cluttered, maybe they didn't hear it because of that. That you should have your game loud enough that you can hear the sounds in the game. There's also times where there are just so many nades and stuff going on that it can make it confusing. Nice shot from Kaza at the start of this round, though. And even after that round win, HUAT have so many SMGs in this round. It's not a great buy for them, especially after losing Splashka early on. Now they're in a pretty precarious position where they don't have much control. You can see Jamyoung is wrapping all the way round into heaven. And I just do not like HUAT's chances from this point in the round.
Has Neff not got a gun? Oh, okay. He dropped it. Must have been looking for an AK or something, but it wasn't to be found. Jamyoung. Oh, it's going to win that duel, even though he was being waited for. Bulbasaur now the only one left, but they've got no real reason to push him at this point. They're going to head into the B site, and the woman's just waiting. You always have to be prepared for Orman on this map. It's something that, well, many teams should have learned, that he is normally lurking outside in the lobby. He would just wait patiently to try and stop any rotations, any aggression, and just make things very awkward for you. But yeah, the AWP now comes into play. Nice shot from Kaze. And then from then on with complete outside control. And this is what I mean. Like on this map, they have so many different... Well, they know all the different smoke iterations, basically. Like the L smokes that allow you deeper control. Even you can throw an even deeper smoke that then makes it easier to try and take garage. And then they'll just go for a round like this. 2 seconds later, just running straight in towards the ramp. They know what control they can gather. That's a bit of a whiff, but it will be Splashgate to eventually go down. Obviously, in this round, they've only got pistols, so you can't really expect too much. Neff's going to get past the Molotov, and even though he had an opportunity there, unfortunately, it's not going to be taken. Ronan. What he do in this situation? Nice shot. We'll get rid of Kaze at least. But he is going to fall moments later. Bulbasaur left in a 1 versus 3. Advent looking for the ace. That's not something I thought I would be saying today. If he can find it.
Well, there's 10 seconds, so Bulbasaur's not winning this round. He's just looking for the gun at the end, or maybe a kill. And that might be the chance that Advent needed. Never mind, he gets caught in the back. So no ace, at least in this round for Advent. I don't know if there's a gun for Bulbasaur, though. I thought there was one close right here, but I guess not. And, oh, hello. Oh, Alman's back on the site already. He's been very cheeky at the start of this game, Alman. Always in control of these fights. As you said, just kind of holding back and really picking apart HUAT in a bunch of these rounds. But we have now got the guns out for HUAT. This is what they were waiting for. I saw the AWP already being brought up. And yeah, let's get all these replays of these shots from Alman. He actually got quite a few good kills there with the headshots. So good work from him. But this is the buy we were waiting for. AWP out for Splashka. Oh, and a missed shot from Kaza as well, and he just politely closes the door behind him, opens it up again, and that gives Splashka the chance he was looking for.
Yeah, starting to style on them a little bit with the AWP. Ronan also getting aggressive. You can see he's checking for Orman now. He's like, is he still here? Is he still lurking? The answer is no. The flashbang's not great. He gets it while still partially blind. The bomb's also made its way onto the B site. Advent trying to switch up the play. And they're going to have Orman in the backlines. He's going to have to rotate through the ramp. Advent needs to try and stay alive as long as possible. And in fact, he peeks wide and goes down. And wait, Orman didn't go back towards the ramp. Why didn't he go ramp?
I have no clue. I mean, they're just going to defuse now. I guess saving the AWP is something. Yeah, the bomb is planted for Amp there. You've got to think that's where Alman was going to go. I've got to say as well, Advent, like you pointed out, should have probably just focused on staying alive there. But hey, HUAT won't care. They'll take that. Couple of shots landing from Splashka early on. This was the awkward one for Ronin that nearly went against him. And then Spiels walks in, gets that kill, and makes sure that his team can win the round. So HUAT getting a second on the board. And if they were to win this one, this is where they could reset ViCi's economy, which I think will be an important part of their game plan here if they've got any chance on Nuke. Where's that smoke gone?
Okay, Neff with a bit of a risky re-peek. I say they have the L smokes, maybe not. It seems like they've missed one. Obviously, they've thrown a slightly deeper one to section off the Hell window anyway. Again, these are all fairly common smokes except the one that missed. Obersor's got to be careful, though. To go back up the ladder makes a lot of noise and gives Zoking a freebie. Molotov even going to go down to try and clear out anybody around the hut, but not going to happen. There's still a couple of players here, and in fact, Ronin's going to go rotating back up in towards this A site. The problem is the amount of control that's already been taken. They can pretty much go anywhere they like. Although Splash K, it seems like he's aware. This is a nice angle that he's holding. It's a risky one for sure if they were to head back through the ramp, but knowing that they've already pushed outside, they're managing to make this one work. ViCi started this round off so strong, it's ended up with just Kaze left.
Low on health as well. Without the bomb in his hands, I doubt he's going to be winning this one. And that was another round that comes kind of confusing with ViCi taking so much control, but credit to HUAT for actually reacting to that and playing some positions that did work for them. Kaze gets the free kill. He's actually got a chance now, but Ronin makes sure to land a shot, makes sure that HUAT get their third round win. And as I was saying earlier, this is where ViCi's money starts to become a problem for them. They can't buy into this round. And if HUAT want any chance in this game, controlling the economy is probably the best way for them to put some rounds on the board to give themselves the best possible chance here. Some good kills across the board for them. HUAT showing they can be competitive at the start of Nuke.
Well, any pistols in this round?
Not the best.
Or ViCi. Oh, okay. Spiels decides to get aggressive in a round where it doesn't really make that much sense. Luckily, Splash K has just domed them with the USP. So maybe a little bit more costly than they would have liked, but only a couple of kills after what was a pretty strong start to the round, and I almost feel like ViCi could have got a little bit more there. I think that's the problem. Like, HUAT's only response to the way ViCi play this map is to get aggressive. And in certain rounds, that doesn't make any sense. So that's probably a bit more costly than they would have liked. Obviously, their loss bonus is now being diminished. So if ViCi win this round, they're going to be right back in the driver's seat once again. And Nade's going to go through, but actually doesn't connect onto anybody as they go for a fast play outside. Again, a complete change of pace, although it's only really Zoking that's crossed. Everybody else is still patiently waiting. And the power of this play is that obviously you're going to know, or you will have heard, that somebody's walked through. So you'll have the positional control, but then you've left the remaining T's outside. So if anybody goes looking, anybody goes hunting, they're going to be in quite a bit of trouble. Neff somewhat abandoning his post as the remainder...
What? There was a smoke in front of him, which would have been the safe haven he wanted. I guess just stand in the flames. Oh, well.
2 players just died to Molotovs. Like, I'm all for great utility usage, and don't get me wrong, ViCi clearly put them in the right place, but you're not meant to stand and fire. I never thought I'd have to say that out loud.
Oh, dear.
And this round's going to destroy their economy as well. They have to save these last 2 guns. No question about it. If they do, Splash K can drop 2, Ronin can drop 1, they're fine. If either of them die, then it's going to be a big problem. Don't peek here, Ronan. There's no value in peeking. Oh, it's... There is just that mentality. I think this goes all the way to the top as well. Of no matter the situation, if I get one kill, then it's worth it. It's like, so did he smoked that off and it didn't put out all of the flames. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that is
I
shame.
hate how that works. That's so stupid.
Oh yeah, there's so many rounds
How's
where
you
I'll
put
pull
out
a rush
half the flames?
and try and smoke it and then just die because it doesn't.
Or just hit your teammate in the back.
Oh,
the amount of times where it's like, okay, someone on my team will say, right, everybody rush B, I'll smoke the Molotov, and they just hit their teammate in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And then the other people just burn to death. Or they like, well, don't run through. And if you don't run through, you're a coward, and I don't like you.
Absolutely.
You died to show your teammate made a mistake. Oh, Ronan! He tried to escape and instead has handed the B side away. Splashcase trying to get a quick rotation in.
What? What?
What?
Trigonometry, bruh.
This guy's got a bouncing Betty. That's amazing. I don't think I've seen a Molotov fly quite that aggressively. I'm guessing it hit the rim on the floor and just flew up. But that's ridiculous. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before. Bit awkward. Decent position for Zoking, though. Not checked properly, and now Bulbasaur's left alone. 1 versus 3 situation, but he does not have time. 10 seconds left. He needs to kill 2 people and then defuse the bomb. Good luck, my friend. It is 7 on the board. The buy that they came in with did a decent job for what it was, but ultimately not enough.
The problem so far for HUAT has, I think, just been that positioning. They've had 1 or 2 rounds where they have been able to position correctly, but on the CT side of Nuke, it's so important to get into the right spot. That's not even an angle. There's no angle there to bounce up like that.
No,
I'm sorry.
It's hit the rim.
To me, it looks like a right angle, but I guess there must be an angle there.
Magic.
Fireworks on the server. If I were ViCi, I think I would just run the wall of smokes outside every round and just go down secret and just see what HUAT-Zai's response is, honestly, because I don't believe HUAT-Zai's rotations will be good enough to deny that from happening, in all honesty. Got a tech pause here, though, Tom. Second one of this series. 7-4 lead for ViCi. And you can see HUAT-Zai not really able to buy too much ahead of this round.
Yeah, this should be a fairly easy one, and ViCi already looking like they're going to be set up to win the half on the T side, which is basically what we were talking about before, is that they do manage to get a lot of their rounds on the T side. The thing is that again, we're looking at HUAT-Zai and basically saying the only rounds that they've managed to win are off individual brilliance, like the round where Bulbasaur runs through the smoke and manages to get a multi-frag. Splash K with the AWP has had some pretty good rounds. It's not been anything structured whatsoever, and the worry for me is that Neff's not performing at all, and he's normally like reliable. Like he's the man that we can look to at least put up some decent numbers. The scariest prospect is that the joint second top fragger in the server, again, is going to be Advent. So they're still getting out fragged by the in-game leader, which, even on an individual basis, like, sure, I don't want to just harp on Advent, but if he's getting, like, the one of the highest ADRs in the whole server, you've got problems. Like, he is normally there for his strategical masterminding of the match, not for the fact that he can out-frag you. So you're just not even stepping up on an individual basis. And I think they are consistently being outplayed. Like, sure, the scoreline's only 7-4, but on the T side of Nuke, that's pretty damn good. And while after a few rounds in a row, it seems like that streak will come to an end. And I wouldn't be surprised if ViCi even managed to get into double digits.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I was looking at some of the previous games that ViCi played against some of the top Asian teams on Nuke to see if they had that sort of similar T-side success. They got 8 T rounds against Tai Lu. They got 7 T rounds against Tiger on this map. So it's something that seems to carry over a little bit against the top teams as well. There is Advent, Toasty McToaster. A lot of fire damage, which I think we saw in that earlier round. Again, good performance from Advent so far individually. 8 headshots for him. Been putting in some good rounds with that AK. Yeah, as you were saying, Tom, just individually, Advent being there for this ViCi team as well means that you've got so many players to have to deal with over on the other side. And that's something that HUAT haven't been able to counter so far.
Well, I imagine this is probably something to do with VPNs again, or something of the sort. I hope it won't be too long a technical pause. But yeah, this, as we've pretty much said, like this is ViCi basically just having a training match. Like this is them bit of a practice, like try out a few different spicier things. I don't think there's going to be anything too interesting. Obviously, the next match is going to be the one that we really want to talk about, which is going to be Checkmate facing off against Arthur. After.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what? Jamyong broke his keyboard. Oh, that's interesting. How? Did he spill something on it? Did he punch it? I want to know that. I want to know the details of how he broke his keyboard. Is he an angry gamer?
There's no way he punched his keyboard in this game out of all games.
I don't know. He's 7-7. You know, sometimes you can be winning and then you're like, I'm not playing well enough. Like, I wanna be performing a little bit better. No limb shots. Wasted bullets 84. Obviously the AWPer, so not gonna be shooting as many bullets as anybody else. I do love the little drone statistics.
That's nice. I can actually see his weapon of choice has been the AK so far in this game. I think just because they've been going pretty fast pace, they haven't.
I think that's just the early rounds, though. I think because we're only 11 rounds in, so I think that will probably change. It's just that obviously in the first few rounds, if he doesn't die, he's not going to repurchase an AWP over an AK-47. Has one here, but again, I think that's because their finances were low, so he buys an AK. And then when he dies next, he'll probably invest back into the AWP. Because on outside, he is a menace. Like, well, we saw him just a few rounds ago, basically just countering any players. But yeah, looks like they're just going to go back for these outside smokes. I like the counter. Nade's going to do some initial damage. Ronan in the smoke, and he's going to get caught out. Kaze's found another pick. And now they run the gauntlet back towards this B site once again.
This is what I was saying earlier. I'm absolutely fine with this. Just go for that wall of smokes down to B. I don't think HUAT have much of an answer. You can see the rotation arriving pretty late. Obviously, this is a round where HUAT didn't have much in terms of weaponry anyway. But if ViCi do this, then I think they should be getting a fair few rounds at the end of this half. Bulbasaur probably focused on saving the AK. A couple of his teammates have a little bit lower funds than he. And with Advent finding Splashka, it is now only the AK of Bulbasaur. This is where you go back to spawn, you sit there, and that's the safest place to be. But instead, Bulbasaur wants to see if he can get kills for some reason. I don't really know why, but hey, no AK saved. And that means that HUAT's buy will be even worse ahead of this next gun round.
Yeah, you know, he wanted to damage the economy. I stand by. I think Bulbasaur has some really questionable decision making, and he's the in-game leader. And so, I don't know. I think if you minus him and add someone like Impression into this roster, I think you have a much better team.
Oh yeah.
I think that he would be able to at least get the best out of some of these young players, and that's something else I've mentioned throughout the tournament. I think Ronan's good, but I also think that they put him in a lot of positions that make no sense for the way he plays the game. So I don't know. It's an odd one. Neff, Spiels, they're combining here as the A-side push does come in. Bulbasaur, he's going to get a double for himself, and Kaze is now left alone, and this time he will achieve nothing. A decent stack up on that A-site is going to hold the line this time. But of course, there is going to be a purchase come back up. Now, this will be interesting because there is plenty of money over on the T side. So we'll see whether or not Kaze sticks to the rifle, in which case we can imagine they will still go for these faster plays, or if he's going to go back to the old faithful. And by the looks of it, he has bought a rifle, so he's sticking away from that AWP for now.
I'd have thought this would have been time for the AWP, right? You get shut down with one of these faster A plays. Might have been a nice idea to just go for that pick at yard, which we've seen him do in some of the earlier rounds. Not meant to be, though. It's the AKs out for ViCi ahead of this next one. And see, Ronin plays ramp, and this is a position you can't do that much. You can't push like that. I agree with you, Tom. You don't put a player like Ronin in ramp like that.
But that's the thing I've noticed with other teams. Like, for example, Invictus, the player they have on ramp is the most experienced player. They have ZAI.
Yeah, exactly.
Playing on ramp, because it's one of those that's a very important rotational role. Like, you have to switch things up between hell, get yourself down to B when the decision's right, utility usage. I think the only young players that you really see are sort of the exceptions that are like
Obo was
very
surprisingly
intelligent.
good at that spot on complexity.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of intelligent young players who are very good at playing a role. Whereas he's not one of them. Like, I would much rather have him go battling in towards the lobby, like if you really wanted to have aggression, like him playing around HUT, or even have him just like styling outside, like play him in one of those roles where he's able to get aggressive, where he's able to push and make active decisions to be proactive. Instead, they have him as the rotational B player. It makes absolutely zero sense. It's the worst possible role I can imagine for Ronin. And as said, like, I don't want to blame him necessarily for that. It looks like he's been put into decisions. Now, there's going to be a late rotation back towards the A site. This actually could work out quite well. There's a couple of players here still that they have to deal with. One of them's going to be in the corner, and they predict it. Easy cleanup. Just got to get the bomb down, and then they're in a comfortable position. And in fact, they don't even need to do that. Flawless round for ViCi. They bounce back in a matter of seconds, and the CT side money is in the bin again.
Yeah, just touching on the Ronin playing ramp in that round as well. I was looking at Bimas or Bmas, whatever you pronounce it as. When he was on FaZe, he was playing ramp, and he just wasn't having anywhere near as much success as now on Mouse, where he's playing on that A site. I think he had a game recently on Mouse where he got like 30 plus kills on Nuke, and he really went off. So yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me. But hey,
that's Carrigan for you.
Yeah, there you go. Carrigan
knows
has
how
a brain.
To use young talent.
Absolutely.
Wow, was that shots at FaZe? You saying that FaZe don't have brains? Wow,
I mean,
I'm quoting that.
I mean, would anyone argue against it at this point?
Nico's gonna come get you.
He might. I'm sorry, Nico.
But we're gonna have an esports boxing match.
Tom, I'm never
Nico.
having a boxing match against anyone. Have you seen me? Maybe
Nico.
Against Obo. Maybe that would be the one that
I'll
I'd maybe
give you
think about.
10 quid if you do it.
Oh, 10 quid. I've never seen this sort of money before, Tom. Oh my goodness.
Good deal. Oh, Splash K. I think he's been spotted. That was the decision.
It was very ambitious. Ambitious, but rubbish.
Okay. League of renowned for being able to kill people through walls.
Hey, it's a 3v3, Tom, so this round hasn't actually gone too bad for them. They might still have a chance in this one. 37 seconds. ViCi have really run down the clock in these last rounds. But with Jamyong flanking in through heaven, I think he could be the difference maker in this one. They're waiting for this.
Almost every round.
Almost
every round. Yeah, like the amount of times we've seen him get a kill from this position is somewhat sickening. And there is a player currently in the back corner of the site who is dead. I can't believe I still can't believe they don't put anyone watching that. Like, how many times have we now seen him rotate through heaven? And I think it's at least 4 or 5 times. And they're never prepared for it. Never. Not once.
Yeah, that's exactly the problem we were thinking HUAT would have, right? Is that just the rotations and the positions just haven't been there for them in a bunch of these rounds. Jamyong with a flashy kill at the end. Puts himself at the top of the board, and we've got dualies, Tom. What do you think of the dualies?
Let's go. Love dualies. No, this isn't just dualies. You have understated this. This is the dualie raid boss.
Wow.
This is ZoKing being handed dualies by Advent. He's going to take the reins. This is your chance to dominate. Unfortunately, they've gone outside, which is not the best position. Ronin's just missed a jump and taken 45 damage from the world. So that's something. And yeah, they've gone B. They've gone straight towards the B side. They've left one player lurking, which Jamyong is ready for. And in fact, we are going to see Orman end up closing that kill. The player on the B side is going to go down. We want to see ZoKing do something here, but he's actually being relatively patient. with these dual Berettas. The whole point is to run and gun. We want some keto magic. I got to see that last time. There's one. Spins around. Beautiful stuff from ZOKing. But I think from that point, the round was pretty much already over anyway. 11-5, another pistol win. I think, is that every single pistol going the way of ViCi? Can't remember if the second half pistol in the last map went their way. I think it did. I think they won every single pistol in this.
Also, for everyone watching at home, I think, I'm assuming Ronin missed the jump from Silo onto the top of main. If you want to do that, you just have to run with your knife out and you will make it. If you run with your gun out, you will not make it. So that's a top tip for you, everybody. I didn't think I'd be having to say that today. But hey, Ronin has cracked open this round. They're onto the A site, but ZOKing is in from above. He's not got the Julies this time, but the MP9 and the P2000 are doing the dirty
Where did the Julies go?
I don't know.
He
dropped them. Advent's got them, yeah.
All right. So you get these for 1 round and 1 round only. It's not even like he died either. It was just he just decided to give them back. Well, ZOKing, I like it. They really do love to get that AWP in early, especially knowing that there's a buy coming. Nice shot from Ronin. I think there's a chance he'll have more impact going into this T side just because he's not playing a position, which makes absolutely 0 sense for the way he plays the game. But we'll have to wait and see on that. Not much utility here, but I don't think they're really going to utilize it properly anyway, so it's just going to be a push towards ramp by the looks of it. ZOKing's run all the way outside and see nobody. So this is going to allow them to stack up some other positions. They're going to try and make a play into Jamyong through the smoke. That is risky as hell. This is the last man I want to push for Bulbasaur. Nice entry. Kaze has been able to rotate back, but ultimately they're just going to stick with the trade.
Very safe play from Kaze there, making sure to just stay alive because he knows that he can just funnel them into that B bomb site. Alman was waiting. Flashbang put through to try and see if he can get onto the site. This smoke is giving him some cover. They've lost track. They don't know he's here. Oh, Alman has snuck all the way through and Spiels goes down. Splashka should be out of there. It's ZOKing who eventually closes it. 13-5 for ViCi. And at this point, I think we all know which way this game is going, especially with HUAT size money. This is looking much more like it from ViCi on this second map.
Yeah, kind of expected. Realistically, they've had some closer games in this tournament, but they have been the worst. Like, they've managed 1 win. It was a huge surprise versus Invictus, and I think if anything, that's probably made things worse for them here because ViCi have come in and gone, well, we can't have that. We want to make sure that we get some extra wins on the board, potentially move us up a little bit in the table. Orman, okay, he's gone down. It looked like a chance to really pad his stats and get some cash. Whereas now Kaze is going to go for a few risky re-peaks. They have made it down towards the B site. Splash K pre-firing the angle actually just gives his position away. And while Jamyong is trying to get himself a few extra kills before the end of the match, Splash K and Neff left in a 2 versus 4. By the looks of it, they're going to try and go up the vent. And they've spotted out ZOKing. I think ZOKing spotted them back, though. That doesn't really help them out too much.
Neff, the last man standing. 3 kills so far. Make it 4 as he gets gifted 1. Oh, nothing else, though. As soon as he pops his little head up, Advent takes it away. Another round for ViCi. And you were saying that this could help them get up the standings. ViCi's losses have come against Checkmate, Tiger, and Tai Lu. So with this win, they should move ahead of Invictus on the tiebreaker. I'm not sure how it would work out if Tiger lost against Tai Lu, because then they'd all be joint on 6 wins, and that might get confusing. But it would definitely be a nice win for ViCi, and it should be coming through shortly. AK's out for ZAI again. Another chance to maybe try and get some highlight plays, try and get some of these individuals going. But there aren't going to be too many more chances for them in this game if it keeps on going like this.
They have at least got a buy with utility, which is something we haven't actually seen yet. Bulbasaur looking like he's just going to break the door. and set somebody up for an opener. They have managed to gain a little bit of control outside, but they've got to be wary of Orman, who this round is going to be sat in secret. The Molotov is actually going to force Ronan back into a more awkward position, and Orman, he's ready for this. He goes diving into the hands of Spiels, but Zoking's there to trade. Advent with another. Now they've got a decision of which direction they're actually going to go in. Zoking's going to get dropped down. I'm surprised that Bulbasaur manages to win that duel, but I imagine for Zoking it was a bit of a surprise. Somebody jumping down knowing he was there. Jam Young as well is already waiting on this B site. And the second that door opens this time, we'll have a decent amount of information. That's if they go that way. Actually, Boba's going to go back. Or it seems that way. I'm very confused as to what they're doing. They're making a hell of a lot of noise. And now they're going to go into the B site. And this is where Jam Young is waiting. Just going to watch for the door. They're going to go for the plant. And eventually he'll get killed off. Ronan on the other side now only has 10 seconds. And Kaze's rotated in. A little bit close for comfort. But ViCi ultimately get the round across the line. And in fact, I don't think they've dropped a single round in this half so far. So you can kind of see what I was talking about earlier, Hawker. It's not necessarily that they're better at the T side. It's just that they play it first.
Yeah, they get more chances on the T side, right? Absolutely. 15-5 up now. I was hoping we'd see Advent near the top of the board again, but everyone else on his team has decided to overtake him. Kaze now up to 19 kills. Kaze again with kind of not a quiet performance, but more just that he's getting kills when he needs to. He's never making mistakes. He's just doing his job. He's got 19 kills now, and oh man, gets 2 over at yard. No one there for HUAT side. No one ready for that angle. And it's 3 more kills required for ViCi to close out their group stage with a win.
That's so cocky from Orman.
It's a bit much.
He wanted to try and just style on them towards the end of the match, but ultimately it does mean he meets his doom, and it looks like Zoking's about to come under some pressure. HUAT slowing the round down, maybe hoping that somebody else will get a little bit more aggressive, but not really any reason for it. I'm then gonna pop Jam Young in just to give him that extra information, and now that they've spotted nothing else, they're actually going to rotate Kaze. And he's got to kill straight through the smoke, and they're going to try and make their way down the vent. He's done even more damage to Bulbasaur. I think they know this as well. They're going to throw out some extra utility, and now Zoking looks to try and get his revenge, falling through. Jam Young's waiting, and it is dominant. ViCi win this one 16-5. It's somewhat expected, and a fairly easy series for them in the end.